Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Atanyad api Krishnasya Thoka charitam adbhutam Manusham lokamasadya Tajjatam anurundhata Atanyad api Krishnasya Thoka charitam adbhutam Manusam lokamasadya Tajjatam anurundhata Atanyad api Krishnasya Thoka charitam adbhutam Manusham lokamasadya Tajjatim anurundataha. Ladies. Atha, also, anyat, api, other pastimes also, Krishnasya, of child Krishna, Toka achaditam, adbhutam. They are also wonderful childhood pastimes. Manusham, as if playing as a human child. Lokam asadya, appearing on this planet Earth in human society. Tat jatim, exactly like a human child. Anurundata, who was imitating. Please describe other pastimes of Krishna, the Supreme Personality, who appeared on this planet Earth, imitating a human child and performing wonderful activities like killing Putana. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Maharaj Parikshit requested Shukadev Goswami to narrate other childhood pastimes exhibited by Krishna while playing as a human child. The Supreme Personality of Godhead incarnates at different times in different planets and universes, and according to the nature of those places, He exhibits His unlimited potency. That a child sitting on the lap of his mother was able to kill the gigantic Putana is extremely wonderful for the inhabitants of this planet. But on other planets, the inhabitants are more advanced, and therefore the pastimes that the Lord performs there are still more wonderful. Krishna's appearance on this planet, like a human being, makes us more fortunate than the demigods in the higher planets. And therefore Maharaj Parikshit was very much interested in hearing about them. Om Agyantimidandasya Jnananjana Chalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutha Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahakana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahakana Raghunatham Vishakan Vidanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 7, entitled The Killing of the Demon Trinavarta, Text 3. The king Parikshit had 7 days to live. For a simple mistake that he committed, he was cursed to die in 7 days. This is taking place 5,000 years ago, when Brahmins and yogis had tremendous power. Today, if somebody were to tell you that I curse you to die in 7 days, you would probably laugh at them. Let us see. But at that time, if a great Brahmin were to curse you in like this, it is 100% guarantee what they say will come true, because they had those powers. Even Shringi, he was just a little child. Parikshit was the most pious, holy man and a king. He went to the forest, and while he was there, he became very thirsty. Incredibly, unbearably thirsty. And he happened to come across the hut of Samik Rishi, a great sage. And the sage was sitting in meditation, in samadhi. King Parikshit, he wasn't himself. He was in a bewildered state. Because otherwise, amanina manadena, he offered all respects to everyone, especially such a great rishi. But on this day, he said, please give me some water. And the rishi didn't even move, because he didn't hear him. So Parikshit became angry. Anger, according to Gita, krodhat bhavati samohat, samohat smriti vibrama. When our desires are unfulfilled, we become angry. Dhyayato vishayan bhungsang sangasteshu bachayat. Krishna explains the whole chronological order of how a person becomes degraded. First, we become attracted to the objects of the senses. From that attraction, attachment sets in. When attachment is accelerated through the course of nature, it becomes kama, or lust. When our passionate desires are unfulfilled, krodha becomes anger. And what is the nature of anger? Anger causes a bewilderment of memory. We forget what is to be done, what is not to be done, what is right, what is wrong. All these things are clouded by this veil of anger. Then we lose our intelligence. We say things, we do things, we really don't intend to do it all. And then we fall down into a lamentable, regrettable condition. Now, Parikshit Maharaj, he was a very, very elevated soul. This was below his dignity to become angry at such an offense. Great souls, they can use these human emotions in God's service. Hanuman was as angry as anybody could ever be. when he was jumping from building to building with his tail on fire, setting the entire city of Sri Lanka ablaze. He was angry. When he roared upon Ravana, if you think that I have done harm to your city, wait till Ram comes. Whatever powers I have are only by his grace. When anger is used in the service of the Lord, and we control our anger, then anger has very positive powers. But when anger controls us, we become degraded. Like a parent, sometimes if a parent does not get angry with the child doesn't take it seriously. If the mother says to a little boy, don't go out on the street when there's traffic, the child will go, and go out on the street. She goes, don't go out on the street. I won't go out on the street. So she's controlling anger for a higher purpose. But when anger controls her, then she can commit great offenses. She becomes more dangerous than the cars on the street. Beats him or something like that. Why did you go on the street? Nothing happened. So Parikshit Maharaj, he was a very self-realized soul, but we understand this was Yogamaya. In order to teach the world very priceless lessons, sometimes the Lord uses his very elevated devotees as an example. Yet at Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was beyond bewilderment. But when he was between the two armies and he saw friends and teachers and relatives on both sides, he became totally bewildered. If he wasn't so totally bewildered, there wouldn't be such a dynamic, exciting stage for the Bhagavad Gita to be spoken for all human beings for all time to come. The Bhagavad Gita is the summary study of all the Vedas. And the Srimad Bhagavatam is the postgraduate study of the Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna wanted to set up a very, very exciting venue for the Srimad Bhagavatam to be spoken. So Parikshit Maharaj, apparently he gave in to anger. And when he gives in to, what could he have done? He was the emperor. He could have taken his sword and cut the yogi's head off, and nobody could say anything. He could have sent massive armies. But instead, he just happened to see there was a dead snake. And when, according to custom, when a guest comes to your home, you put a garland on them. What to speak of the king? Could you imagine if Prime Minister Manmohan Singh came to your house? It would be an honor. You would at least give him a garland or some water or something. What to speak of President Obama? Well, they're just little tiny countries. King Parikshit was the emperor of the world. But he didn't receive anything. So with the end of his bow, he picked up the dead snake and put it on the shoulder of the rishi and said, here, you're not going to garland me, so I'll garland you. And then he left. The rishi came out of his meditation and saw a snake on his... He just went. If it was a live snake, it would have been very offensive. But a dead snake?
People these days, they pay a lot of money to get the skin of a dead snake to put on their shoes or whatever like that. So dead snakes are not harmful. So the little son heard about this, and his pride, even though he was a Brahmin and he had great powers, he was proud. Ahankar, he had false ego. This story shows us how dangerous any type of powers are, especially yogic, Brahminical powers, unless we have clean hearts. The child had mystical perfections, but he was arrogant, and he couldn't tolerate that his father was humiliated in this way. So he cursed the king to die in 7 days. Maharaj Parikshit received the news. He did not retaliate. Rather, he accepted as God's blessing. Tate nukampam susamikshamano bunjana ivatmakritam vipagvam. Lord Brahma has told us that one who, even in the most difficult circumstances, can see it as the grace of God and accepts it with a grateful heart, that person alone, no one else, is entitled to the perfection of liberation. He saw this as an opportunity. Parikshit Maharaj was young. He was at the peak of his life. He had a beautiful family, he had children, a wonderful palace, everything that everyone wants to become attached to, he had it all. And as soon as he heard this, he understood, I made a mistake. This may not have been the proper reaction that I should get, but whatever happens, happens. How can I utilize this situation as an opportunity? Now I can focus 100% of all my energies on my spiritual perfection. Within seconds, he gave his throne to his son, said goodbye to his wife and children and all of his subjects, put on just a kopan, took off of all his royal garb, went to the bank of the river Ganges to fast till death, with one aim, to hear the glories of the Lord. This sincerity, it's spread all over the world, faster than internet. There was no internet in those days. Saying that Parikshit Maharaj is going to the Ganga, to Shukadana. He's going to be fasting, and any sages who want to participate can come. Everybody knew. Vashishta Muni, Vishwamitra Muni, Vyasadev, Narada, Parasara Muni, Bhardraj Muni, they all came. Yogis and sages and rishis from all over the universe, they all assembled there. How did they get there so fast? This was the day of real yogis. They didn't have to book a ticket on Indian Railways, stand in line at the station. They just came. They didn't want to miss a second of it. And Parikshit Maharaj asked them these questions. He didn't have time to waste. We can study scriptures for 20, 30, 40, 50 years and hardly understand what is the essence. He didn't have time to sit for 12 years and study Sanskrit grammar and then go from the fundamental scriptures to the more elevated scriptures. He only had 7 days. So he asked these questions. What is the essence of all the scriptures? What is the prime duty of all human beings for all times and all circumstances? And what is the foremost duty of a person who is about to die? Srila Prabhupada, he told us that we should be so sincere. Parikshit Maharaj knew for sure he had 7 days. But there is not a person on this entire planet that knows for sure that we even have 7 minutes. Padam padam yad vipadam natesham. And Parikshit Maharaj is showing us this is the type of sincerity that is required to make real spiritual advancement. Shukadev Goswami was selected among all of them to speak. This is quite interesting because at that time, the greatest rishis, yogis, sages, paramhamsas, they were all there. Some of them, like Vasishta Muni, he was the guru of Ramchandra and Dasarath. So that means ages before he was still around. Narada Muni, he's been traveling from planet to planet, playing his veena and doing kirtan. Narada Muni bhajai vina radhika ramana name, from the beginning of creation. Vyasadeva, very elder, stately incarnation of the Lord, who is the compiler of the Vedas. Atri Muni, the father, with his wife Anasuya, of Dattatreya, Durvas Muni, Soma, the incarnations of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. There were very, very powerful people there. And among all of them, they all selected a 16-year-old boy named Shukadev. They considered him the most learned, the most realized, and the most qualified to speak on behalf of all of them. And they all listened in rapt attention. We don't read about any of these sages that were thousands of years old who had avatars as their disciples, that they just walked out and said, I don't want to hear from him. Why him? He's a child. They were all eager to hear, because the Krishna Katha, the subjects of Krishna, is so sublime. It is so transcendental that whoever speaks it, it's the greatest pleasure of the heart. Seven days, throughout the day, there wasn't a sound but Shukadev Goswami speaking. Everyone was rapt attention, especially Parikshit Maharaj. And interestingly, he got in this predicament because he was thirsty. It was just a matter of a few hours that he had nothing to drink, and he got angry and disturbed in his mind due to thirst. Now we are at the point in the 10th canto of today's verse. Parikshit Maharaj had already not had food or water or slept for at least 5 days. Yes? Out of 12th canto, 10th is beginning. And he's feeling no fatigue, no thirst, and no hunger. Vishayavanivartante niraharasya dehina rasavarajamarasobhyasya param dristva nivartate. Because he's experiencing this higher taste. The Ganga water of the nectar of Harikatha, the sound of Krishna's pastimes and Krishna's teachings, was completely satisfying his body, mind, words, his very soul. He was so satisfied that the hunger and the thirst